to Jesus. And as I walked around the wilderness, the Chua, I'm sure I said that wrong, wilderness this week, I found so many sycamore tree. Then I went to the Southwestern Research Center where there was an amazing, gigantic sycamore tree. No, I haven't found a small sycamore tree. And it brought new meaning and new life to the story of Zacchaeus. As child, as children, we learned the song, Zacchaeus was a wee little man, a wee little man was he. Scripture tells us that Zacchaeus was quite a short lad, but he was in one of those professions that everyone detested him for. Like Matthew, he was a tax collector. Zacchaeus was hated because the Romans, you see, they charged the people hefty taxes. And what the Romans did was they didn't collect the taxes themselves. They used local people called tax collectors to collect the money on their behalf. They didn't tell them exactly how much they should collect. So as long as they got a decent enough portion, these tax collectors could exact even more money from these people and take the rest for themselves. The tax collectors were said to be very dishonest people in most respects. So Zacchaeus was a hated person. He was not popular at all in his world. And to make matters worse, he was short. He heard about Jesus. Zacchaeus decided to go ahead of the crowd. And when you see the sycamore tree, you can identify it from afar because it has from afar, it looks like the bark is white or creamy and it's very smooth. And as I looked at the sycamore tree and as I stood among the trees, I was like, how did Zacchaeus get in one of these? Zacchaeus must have scaled up that tree. The tree has a very long trunk. There was nothing for him to hold on to. As you go way up into the top, it sprouts all over. I should have put it as my backdrop so you could see the sycamore tree. Zacchaeus was intentional in going up into that sycamore tree. As I look up into the sycamore trees and I said, how did Jesus see him up in there? But Jesus is God, isn't he? So he knew and sensed Zacchaeus was there. He knew Zacchaeus' intentionality and he wanted to bring hope to Zacchaeus. The beauty about Zacchaeus' encounter with Jesus is not much is said about it. But as I reflected on Zacchaeus this week and all the sycamore trees that I came across, I had one of the most important teaching points ever in the Zacchaeus story. Not only was Zacchaeus intentional, but the conversion and the transformation that came because Jesus intentionally paid attention to him. Sorry. Those around, as usual, were cynics. What kind of man is Jesus? Why would he go home with Zacchaeus? Wouldn't he know that he's such a sinner? But the beauty about my Lord is that he specializes in sinners. He loves to dine with sinners, and that's what I love about Jesus. Jesus doesn't stuff up his nose at anyone, and he always makes room and is intentional in meeting people where they are. That day he called out Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus, today I want to dine at your house. Just like Jesus is calling you out today. You might think you're not good enough. The world might tell you you're not good enough. You might be short. You might feeling that, hey, I'm just not the height to make the team. I was just saying. But like Zacchaeus, you too can be intentional in trying to see Jesus. And because Zacchaeus was intentional, his heart was in the right place, Zacchaeus said, Zacchaeus demonstrates what the Bible teaches about. When we meet Jesus, we're not only supposed to be intentional about meeting Jesus. Here's that tree I was looking for. I really like this tree, but it's green and about. I've seen it all over yesterday. Yeah, so Zacchaeus was really intentional about Jesus. And what Jesus did with Zacchaeus was, there's noise in the background, yeah. So ignore the noise in the background. I'm outside and there's noise in the background, so sorry. So Zacchaeus, right, I have to delete this one. Let's get fine outdoor.